Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Go Dynamic IT. If you are looking for a budget gaming PC, or I would say a budget performance PC for your editing or your basic gaming or your office purpose, then this video is for you. We are going to build this PC in somewhere at around at 50,000 rupees. So you can see that this is the lap care cabinet we have, and then we have this motherboard, Gigabyte motherboard. This is support the Ryzen processors, and the model number is B650M, and this is the AMD Ryzen 9 processor. This is the latest processor we use, and the best part of this processor is this come with inbuilt graphics. Yes, inbuilt graphics card. You don't have to buy any additional graphics card. And then we have this crucial this NVMe storage, and then we have this TP-Link Wi-Fi card, and then we have this ENT power supply. This is a 500-watt power supply. So all together, we are going to install it with the 16 GB RAM, and that means we will have a 32 GB of our RAM on this PC. That's considered to be the good one. So now starting with our assembling the system, we start with so we'll remove this motherboard from the RAM, and you can see at first we'll install processor on these systems. For that, we need to open the processor slot. So you can see that the moment you move the lever up, the processor things will open. And now you need to remove the processor from the packet and then connect it. So you can see, look at the processor. So you need to fit the processor carefully. So you can see there is a notch on that the processor. You need to find it out the notch and put it correctly inside the one. I know, and the moment you do that, you connect it back. But one thing which is very important to do that before installing the processor, that if the processor should fit properly inside the motherboard. And then we are going to connect the cooler here. So this is cooler means this is the fan here. So this is the RGB fan. So this give you the color when it run, it will give you the color also, right? This is the colorful fan also. So this is model is cooler, some name, cooler name is there. And then before putting that fan on the processor, this is very important, and you put this metal paste on that, because metal paste is very important. So what is that? It regulate the heat or dissipate the heat, the processor heat. So you can see that I put this paste on the motherboard, and then I'll try to set up the fan. So setting up fan is a little bit tricky, but not difficult when you look into carefully. So there is a two notch, one in the left side and one on the right side. So you can see that I'm trying to put the notch on the right hand side, and the moment you fix that right hand side, you have to press the notch in such a way that it should fit in the left side. So you can see here, in this one I try to put this notch. So actually it's a little bit hard, but the pin is a little bit hard. So the moment you fit that, and now you can see this goes inside the notch, and here we go, done, right? So processor is fit now. And once you fit the processor, it's time to put the fan, the moment you insert the fan or connect the fan into the notches, it's time to connect it to the power supply. So you can see this is the pin we have, and you connect it on the motherboard. And once you have this fan ready, it's time to connect this RAM. So you can see that we have a Vengeance RAM. So we have a Corsair Vengeance to a 216 GB RAM, right? So the RAM is, you need to fit the RAM in the correct slot. So you can see this notch. There is a in between the RAM, there is a notch that should go inside your notch on your motherboard. And the moment you press that RAM, it will send you some the fitting sound, cut sound will come, and it will fit into the notch. So the first thing fit, and now this is second one. So the moment you press that, so both the levers on the right hand side, you can see right hand side, it will fit inside the RAM. So you can see the RAM is also properly connected here. Once your RAM connected, now it's time for this NVMe storage. So we are going to connect this NVMe. So all we have device hardware we have selected is like from the brand, the good brand. So here we are also using the Crucial one. So Crucial is also considered to be the best brand in the NVMe market. So now you don't need to press connect any screw and all. So you can see you connect this into the slot like a RAM, and once you fix that, you put that the plastic kind of cap is there. So you just put it inside that, and it will connect this RAM into NVMe storage into that. That's it. This is your hard disk. This is your hard disk. So now you can see earlier we used to connect SATA hard drives, right? SATA hard drive 500 GB, 1 terabyte, 256. Now is a slot converted into the single RAM kind of, and this is very fast. Yeah, it's considered to be the faster than your SSD drives. So now it's time to collect the blanker on your cabinet. So this small steel blanker will come inside your motherboard. Yeah, so the moment you open the motherboard, you get a SATA cable and this blanker, and then few screws inside that. So you can see we need to fit this up down. So up is your round hole, that's considered to be your keyboard kind of connector. Now it's time to connect your motherboard connectors on that. So we'll start with the sort switches, and then we connect with the reset switches. So there is a dedicated slot to connect all of these, right? So you can see this is a hard disk LED. So whenever you hard disk work, it will glow this light, right? Red light, green light, blue light, whatever lights it is on your on your this one cabinet. And now it's time to connect your other ports. So you can see here, let me show you on the motherboard. So you can see you have all this panel, HD plus, power plus, reset, all these button slots are there. All you need to do is from your cabinet connect these cable on it. That's it, right? And now it's time to connect the power other port like a USB. So this is your USB and front audio. So these all connections are there on your cabinet. All you need to do is connect it back to the motherboard. So you can see here on the motherboard, just find this right slot. So you can see in this audio slot is there. So you just connect this cable to the audio slot, and once you have connected to the audio slot, now it's time to connect the USB. So this is your normal USB 2.0 connectivity. So you can see this F USB 1 is given, right? F USB 2 is given. That means the front USB 1 slot 1 and front USB slot 2. So I have connected that into the front USB 1. So in front USB 1 there would be 2 ports where you connect your USB to the devices to your cabinet, right? Now it's time to fix your motherboard inside the cabinet. So now this is something that a careful task we need to perform in. So I try to fix that into the motherboard, but there is there is a head, right? You can see this golden color heads inside that was not completely fitting. Why? Because that's the generic cabinet manufacturers give as a default one. So you need to fix it according to your motherboard. Holes are there the holes are there given in the motherboard, so that you need to fix it properly. So what I did is I just removed that, right, and just fix it to subsequent slot. So right, so now you can see on the 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom, and then the 2 on the right hand side of this one. So if you're from the player or if you have any tool, so you need to properly fix that inside your cabinet. And once you fix that inside the cabinet, try to fix that. So as I said that you have to be careful about this fixing that motherboard on the cabinet. So you can see there's 2 slots, right? 2 slots in left, right, and here 1 slot, and the other one is 2 slots, right? So that's what I showed you. You can see 2 slots on down and up, and the right hand there is 2. So I said that you have to be very careful when you fix that. These heads, the heads you saw on the cabinet, that should exactly fit with your motherboard holes, right? Otherwise it will short your motherboard. So I've seen that in my experience, like when you not properly fixing that on your motherboard, then it will short. Why? Because inside the motherboard there are pins, right, and there are circuits. So when it touch onto that metal heads, it will maybe short circuit your motherboard. So that's careful. And then once you have that ready, just screw all 6 screws on your motherboard. So that is also have to be carefully, you need to do that. Don't do firefighting or anything. You have to do gently. You have to fix this gently on your motherboard. So you can see here, so I fixed two, and that's subsequently. So this is assembling a desktop is not a big task. If you follow the video carefully, I believe you can do that. That's not a problem. And sometimes, and I always recommend you to use this magnet screwdriver. So sometime the screw will fall down from your on inside the cabinet and all. So when you have this magnetic screwdriver, it will be easier for you to get back those screws, to you. Otherwise, when it's left inside your cabinet, it may touch on the motherboard, and then it will create a short circuit, and it will create a problem inside. And there is a irritating sound when you move. Is it sound coming from your cabinet whenever you see that, right? So now our motherboard is fixed inside the cabinet, and it's time to fix this giant power supply. So this is a 500 VA power supply. This is coming from AMD Sports, and I found is a good and reasonable power supply, which is having more number of slots. Like the number of slots mean that you can connect your SATA hard drive, SSD hard drives, and other stuff. That's good. So once you have that, so in this cabinet you can see the power supply is given bottom of this cabinet. Otherwise, when you look at the cabinet, all this power supply is on the top, but that doesn't matter, right? You can connect your power, I mean, wherever its slots are given, but you can, this is designed properly. So once you connect the power, now it's connect to your 20 pin power supply on your motherboard. So these are the dedicated slots given on your motherboard. So you try to fix it properly. So you can see I get it from the slot, get it from the blank space of the cabinet, and connected it on the motherboard. So this is fixed properly on the motherboard, right? So there's a notch inside there. So everything on this computer is a notch. So the so now it's fixed properly, right? So there is another 4 or 6 port connector, the 12 volt connector you see that will come along with the motherboard. That's give the extra power. That give the extra power to your motherboard, right? So you always remember to connect that as well. So the motherboard, your cabinet power supply will have a 2 type of connector which will connect to the motherboard, right? The one we have connected, this one, and this is the 20 pin, and another one is 6 pin or 8 pin, depends on like 8 pin, 6 pin, these pins will come. So you need to connect it on your motherboard, right? So once you connected at the motherboard, so these are the extra cables we have left with, right? You can see there is a one more extra cable here. If your motherboard need a more power supply, you can connect it back to your motherboard. But this motherboard does not require that much of power, so we have connected 20 pin and then another 8 pin for extra power. And now it's time to bind in all the cable together so that you can properly scan to the space management, right? So we inserted that into the blank space, and these blank space are given here for your hard drive, the SATA hard drive connectivity. So you can connect your SATA or SSD, whatever hard disk you want to connect. These are the slots given here on this lap care cabinet. So you just put it inside this one, and now it's time to close this left hand side cabinet. So all the motherboard activities are completed. So that's done, and put this screw back to the slot. So these are these are the self drive screws. You don't need a screwdriver or something like that. You can just connect it back to your motherboard with your hand itself, on your cabinet with the hands itself. That's done. And now let's go what is pending on the motherboard. Okay, this is the front USB 3.0. You can see this is blue color. So blue color always denotes the 3.0. You can see we have a 3.0 slot here. So on the motherboard, try to fix that carefully. So this will go inside the slot. So you can see this was a slightly tight fitting we had. So we have to press, we have to force it to get inside the slots. and you can see here this is went inside the motherboard slot. So now you have a USB. You can so let's check this connectivity once again, and once you check the connectivity, it's time to connect our external fan connectivity. You can see we in this cabinet we have a two fans, right? One is your motherboard fan and another one is your external fan. So what has happened is like your motherboard fan is to cool down your processor heating things, right? And then whatever system heat you generated inside your cabinet, because cabinet is closed one, so anything heat generated inside the cabinet, you have an external fan which will take out from your PC. So this is a good one. I consider to be the good one. If you are assembling the PC, we don't have, you can buy it. It's a cheaper one. You get it like within a 3 to 500 rupees. You get this good quality of the fan here. So this is the color fan, right? So when it run, it display you the color thing. So that's what you can get it at a cheaper price also. So, and I paid 3 to 500 rupees, you get it. So now it's time to tie all the cable properly. So you can see here I'm tying all the cables properly in the motherboard. Why? Because the cable should not go inside on your fan. Otherwise, sometime that fan will stuck inside the cables, and then it will break down, and it will create a problem. It will if you not run properly, then it will generate the heat, and motherboard will start heating and all. So that's the reason it's important that you fix all the cable properly. And once you fix the cable properly, you can see these are the extra length there for these ties. Just cut it down, and after cutting all of these ties, right, now it's time to just make sure that you have all the proper connectivities, right? There should not be, you should not be left any loose connectivity. And once you done that, now it's time to fix all the screws, all the 4 screws, like left side panel, cabinet panel, and then the right side cabinet panel, all the screws. And once you do that, you're good to go. So you can see this is the transparent one. So I purposefully choose this transparent one because in the night when you're running your PC, this light look very beautiful, like in a beautifully glowing on your desk, and it will give you the colorful lights and all. So I'll show you in the moment when we connect it to the power PC. So now you can see here this is connected back. All this 4 screws on this the fiber of this glass cabinet, right? And now it's time to connect it to our monitor, right? So you can see how beautifully it looks like, right? And then I can show you from the final installation of this one. So you need to remove this cover from, there is a small cover from that on the cabinet. So you can see I'm showing you on the left and the right side of this one, right? So that's it. Now it's time to connect the power supply, and once you connect the power supply, it's time to connect your HDMI connectivity. So HDMI connectivity is done. Now it's time to connect your keyboard and mouse. So connect your keyboard mouse on the PC, and once done, it's time to press the power button. Okay, good. So you can see these colorful lights, right? So your CPU, your processor fan lights, and your external, it will look beautifully how it's looking, right? So now voila, so you can see you have the display, right? You don't need any display card, as I said that on this PC when you're going with this motherboard, right? So that's it. You can see here I bought this PC from the SP Road from the Priom Laptop and Computers. They are resellers, and they have an in-house service as well. So any problem with your service or laptop or desktop, they have a service, and they do proper installation. You can see they are using this Gigabyte App Center to install this software. So that's it for today's video. If you have any questions, queries, or any feedback related to this video, please do let me know in the comment box. Thank you very much for watching the video.